The red chili. Once upon a time, in a small village at the edge of a forest, there lived a farmer named Ravi. He was known far and wide for growing the best crops in the village. Ravi had a large piece of land where he grew all kinds of vegetables cucumbers, tomatoes, beans, and pumpkins. But there was one thing that Ravi grew that was special, and it was known to everyone as the red chilies. Ravi's red chilies were famous not only in his village but also in the nearby towns. People would travel from far and wide to buy his chilies. They were known for their perfect balance of heat and flavor. They were not too spicy but just enough to give food a nice kick. Everyone loved them. One day, as Ravi was working in his fields planting new crops, he noticed something strange. One of the red chili plants had grown a chili that was bigger and brighter than all the others. This chili was unlike any he had seen before. It was so red that it seemed to glow under the sunlight, and it was much larger than the usual chilies. Ravi was amazed. What a strange and beautiful chili, Ravi thought as he carefully picked it from the plants. He held it in his hand, marveling at its color and size. I must take special care of this one, he decided. He brought it home and placed it on his kitchen shelf where it could stay safe. Day passed and Ravi continued his work on the farm. Every day he would glance at the red chili sitting on his shelf, and every day it seemed to grow brighter and more vibrant. It was as though the chili had a life on its own. Ravi began to wonder if this chili was magical. Could it be? He thought maybe this chili has some special powder. Curious, Ravi decided to take the chili to the village wishman, an old man named Babu, who knew many things about plants and nature. Babu lived on the edge of the village in a small hut surrounded by herbs and flowers. Ravi knocked on his door, holding the red chili carefully in his hands. Come in, Ravi, Babu said, welcoming him with a smile. What brings you here today? Ravi held up the chili and showed it to Babu. Look at this chili I found in my field, he said. It's unlike any I have ever seen. Do you think it could be magical? Babu took the chili in his hands and examined it closely. He squinted at it, turned it around, and smelled it. After a few moments, he looked at Ravi with wide eyes. This is no ordinary chili, Ravi, Babu said. This chili holds great powder. It is a rare chili that only grows once in many years, and however process it will face both great challenges and great rewards. Ravi was both excited and worried. What do you mean, great challenges? He asked. Babu nodded weakly. The chili will bring you luck, but it will also test you. You must be careful with how you use it, for it has the power to change your life. Ravi thanked Babu for his advice and went home, thinking about what the wishman had said. He decided to keep the chili safe, but he could not stop thinking about what kind of luck it would bring him. Days turned into weeks, and the chili remained on his shelf, glowing even brighter. One evening, a group of men from a nearby town came to Ravi's door. They had heard about the special chili and went to buy it from him. We will give you a great sum of money for that chili. One of the men said, it is worth more than gold. Ravi thought for a moment he could sell the chili and become rich. He could buy more land, build a bigger house, and live a comfortable life. But then he remembered Babu's warning. The chili was powerful and it was not something that should be used for selfish reason. I'm sorry, Ravi said. This chili is not for sale. The men were disappointed but respected Ravi's decision and left. As soon as they were gone, Ravi felt a strange sense of relief as though he had passed the first of the chili's taste. The next day, as Ravi was working in his field, something incredible happened. His crop, which had been growing slowly, suddenly began to flourish. The tomatoes became plump and juicy. The cucumber grew long and crisp, and the beans were full of life. Even the pumpkins, which had been small, grew into giant golden fruits. The entire field seemed to burst with life overnight. Ravi could not believe his eyes. It must be the chili's magic, he thought. The luck Babu had spoken of was real and it was helping his farm thrive. Soon, word spread that Ravi's farm had produced the best harvest in years, and people from all over the village came to buy his vegetables. As the weeks went by, Ravi's wealth grew. He became one of the richest farmers in the village, and his fame spread to other towns. But with wealth came new problems. Ravi noticed what some of his neighbors were becoming jealous. They whispered behind his back, wondering how he had become so successful so quickly. One evening, as Ravi was closing up his farm stand, he saw a group of villagers talking quietly near his fence. He could tell they were talking about him. He must have used some kind of trick to grow those crops. One man said. Another woman added, no one farm grew that well without some kind of magic. Ravi felt a pang of guilt. He had not done anything wrong, but the chili's magic had made his success seem unnatural. He decided to visit Babu again to ask for advice. When Ravi arrived at Babu's hut, the old man welcomed him with a knowing smile. I see that chili was brought you both good fortune and trouble, Babu said. Yes, Ravi admitted, my farm is thriving, but now my neighbors are suspicious of me. What should I do? Babu thought for a moment and then spoke. The chili's magic is not just for you, Ravi. It must be shared with others. If you continue to keep its powder for yourself, it will only bring more problems. But if you use it to help others, the challenges will disappear. Ravi left Babu's hut with a new plan. He decided that he would share the blessing of the chili with the village. The next morning, he gathered the villagers together and spoke to them. I know many of you have wondered how my farm has become so successful. Ravi began. I own it to a special red chili that I found in my field. Its magic has helped my crops grow, but now I want to share its powder with all of you. The villagers were surprised by Ravi's honesty, and they listened closely as he continued. From now on, I will use the magic of the chili to help everyone in the village. I will share my crops and I will teach anyone who went to learn how to farm better. The villagers were touched by Ravi's generosity and their suspicions quickly disappeared. They were grateful for the help, and soon the entire village began to thrive. Ravi taught them new farming techniques and the chilies magic spear to their fields as well. The village became known as the land of plenty, where no one ever went hungry. As time passed, Ravi's life became peaceful again. He continued to farm and he remained humble despite his success. The red chili stayed on his shelf, glowingly brightly as a reminder of the lesson he had learned. One day, many years later, Ravi noticed that the chili had begun to fade. Its bright red color was slowly turning to a soft orange. He took it down from the shelf and realized that its magic was finally coming to an end. Ravi smiled to himself. He had learned that the chili's true powder was not in the magic it held, but in the way it had taught him to share, to be kind, and to use his good fortune to help others. The challenges it had brought had made him a better person. As the last bit of red disappeared from the chilies, Ravi placed it in the soil outside his home, planting it like a seed. Maybe one day another magical chili will grow, he thought. But whether it did or not, Ravi knew the village would always have enough thanks to the lesson he had learned from the red chili. And so the village continued to thrive, and Ravi's name was remembered for generations as the man who had shared his good fortune and brought prosperity to all. Moral: true wealth comes from sharing what we have with others, not for keeping it for yourself. If you enjoyed the story, please subscribe Story Time, like, share, and comment below with your ideas. Please share your thoughts, stay positive, and keep going until the next time.